Ebonite International Incorporated is proud to present the Thunderbolt Dual Block. Because of its unique core configuration, the Thunderbolt Dual Block requires special knowledge and skill in drilling. And with today's array of exotic weights and drillings, the need for training is multiplied. We at Ebonite are proud to present Mr. Randy Stoughton as our official drilling instructor. Randy is associated with Larry Lickstein, the official ball driller of the Professional Bowlers Association. For the past 3 years, Randy has drilled bowling balls for all of the top professional bowlers in the world.
Hi. Before we begin drilling the Thunderbolt Dual Block, it is important to understand the construction of the ball itself. The dual weight block replaces the standard pancake weight block contained in most of today's three-piece bowling balls. The top block is 3 inches in length, 1.5 inches wide. Under this block you'll find the center connecting piece, which is the center of gravity of the ball. Below this is the second weight block. It's 2 3/4 inches long and 1 7/8 inches wide. Once the dual block is cast inside the core, it looks like this. This core, like all Ebonite performance cores, is precision ground and dynamically balanced to a diameter of plus or minus 0.03 of an inch. The ABC spec for a ball is plus or minus 0.05 of an inch, meaning that Ebonite cores meet the requirements for a finished ball. The veneer of this ball is also unique in its construction. The veneer is formulated from a highly cross-linked polyurethane elastomer, which enables the ball to go long and still snap on the back ends. Although this ball has a sanded finish out of the box, it has the potential to take a shine quite easily. Now that we understand the construction of the ball, let's go over, map, and drill one. Let's talk versatility. The Thunderbolt Dual Block offers the bowler more options than any ball on the market today. For example, there are 2 pins located on the face of the bowling ball. The first one is located in the center of the target. It is called the centering pin. It indicates the center of the 2 weight blocks. The second pin is called the locator pin, which indicates the center of the top weight block. Now that we understand the location of the pins in the bowling ball, let's utilize this information in mapping out the ball itself. Let's take, for instance, we're going to drill up a bowling ball and put a half positive side in the ball. We can do this in 3 different ways and get 3 different reactions. A straight over the label drilling, such as this, would be a marking to this side of the label, and then we can go with a 45-degree tilt, make a line there, and we'll do a mapping for a half positive side that way. We can give it a 90-degree tilt, and we can make a marking right there, and we can try to get a half positive side from that angle as well. First thing that you're going to do is you're going to put the ball on this dodo scale. And we're going to use a quarter scale to try to center it out with a line right where we thought a half side would be. First thing you have to do is zero it out. Also with this bowling ball, it's really unique, and it's that you can change the surface of this ball in 3 different ways. You can take it right out of the box and use it for like a real oily condition, or you could put it straight from the box into a Luster King and put like a 5-minute shine on it, and that would give you another surface that you could utilize. Or you could sand it and really get it down to where you can have a real smooth finish on the ball, almost like this tabletop right here. Now that's mapped out for just over a half positive side on this line right here. What we would do then is we would scribe it out for whoever's hand we're going to drill it for. Now what we're going to do is we're going to drill another ball with a half positive side, but this time we're going to take the pins and we're going to give them a tilt. Now here's your locator pin for the center of the top weight block, and here's your pin for the centering of the block. Now we're going to give it a 45-degree tilt, which means that we're going to turn it slightly to the left, about 1.5 inches from where we project the center of span is going to be. So I'm going to project it. It's going to be right here in this vicinity. Now this is all a guess, of course, until you go to the scale to verify the actual weight that you've got in the ball. So it's going to look something like that. Now we're going to try to verify it real quick here. Now what you've got going on is you've got exactly the same weight on the scale, but you've turned the weight block to give yourself a different reaction. Now this ball, for a high roller, will give you almost a leverage type of weight combination. It'll make it go longer and finish harder. Now what makes the guess good and what makes the guess bad is really determined by the top weight that's already in the ball. Now that was just a little bit short, so I need to move it a little bit further to the left to get more side weight in the ball. I'm going to go another 1/4 of an inch. Start the process all over again. I got to zero it out. Still a little bit short. Okay, now I can make a real good educated guess and know that this spot, this line right here, is going to give me a 1/2 ounce of positive side with a 45-degree tilt. And again, center of span going to be right here in this area right here. Finger holes up here, thumb hole, go down in here. And that's what it's going to look like. Now for our third drilling, we're going to give this ball a 90-degree tilt, and we're going to do that by taking our pins and turning them at 90 degrees, just like that. Now what you're going to find is when you make this type of tilt, which I'll show you on the core over here, that when you make this tilt, your centering pin is going to be to the left side of this weight block, which is going to be a little bit heavier than this side. So instead of making your normal move of label shifting to the left, you're going to have to make a move to the right to get the weight that you're after. So when you're making your guess as to where a 1/2 positive side is going to be, keep that in mind. So now what I've done here is I've taken the center of gravity, which is noted by this white mark, and this white mark will be within 3/4 of an inch of the centering pin right here. So now instead of moving that to the right, which would be my normal move for a 1/2 positive side for a right-hander, I've made it slightly to the left of that point. And now we're going to see how close my guess is. And of course you have to center it, zero it out. Pretty close. Okay, I'm just over a 1/2 ounce. Now I can make a real good guess. Make my other line. And I'm going to be right at a 1/2 positive side on this ball too. So what we've done is we've taken 3 balls, put 1/2 side in all 3 balls right over the label, and created 3 different rolls. For our fourth drilling, we're going to drill an extra hole ball. And we're going to start with block weight. First thing we should probably do is describe and define block weight for you. And we're going to go to our core again to show you that description. Block weight is defined by leaving the entire weight block of the bowling ball intact after drilling. And the way to do that is to take 3 inches over to your left to mark off the center of span, and then from that point 6 inches to your right to mark off the extra hole position. And the way that looks on a bowling ball, like this. You're going to take the center of gravity, which is marked off by your little white dot, somewhere within 3/4 of an inch of your centering pin, and you're going to measure over from that point 6 inches over, or 3 inches over, I'm sorry. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3. That's going to be the center of span, and from that point you go over 6 inches, and this is going to be the point of your extra hole. Now the theory of this is to take out as much weight from your fingers as your thumb and your extra hole. All these are going to take out the same amount of weight. So therefore your extra hole is going to be the same size as your thumb and the same depth as your thumb. And that is what block weight will look like. Now you don't need to concern yourself with weight on block weight. Just drill your holes and everything will come out to about a half positive side. Now the other weight we're going to use for an extra hole is leverage weight. Again, you're going to take your center of gravity, which is marked by your little white pen mark, and you're going to measure to your right 2 3/8 inches over. 2 3/8, that's the key number there in leverage weight. From that point, that's going to mark off your extra hole. From there you mark off an axis point, and that's going to be, whatever that number is going to be the center of span. So for argument's sake, we're going to assume that somebody has, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this off 2 3/8 inches. And we're going to do that for you like this. 1, 2, 1 3/8. That's right there at that point. Now that's my extra hole. Now for argument's sake, we're going to assume that you have an axis point of 5 inches over and 1/4 inch up. So what I will do from that point is I will measure down 1/4 of an inch, and then I'm going to measure back to the label side of the ball 5 inches. And that was pretty close. And that is going to be the center of span right there. And then I would just give it a normal mapping. Fingers up and thumb. And whatever I want for side weight, what I would have to do then is I would have to see what kind of weight I already have in this ball. And all I got to do to find that is go back to zero, zero the ball out from that point. This ball is going to end up with about 2 ounces of side weight in it, 2 1/4 maybe. So we got 2 3/8 side weight in this ball right now, so we have to drill an extra hole to get it back to legal. You're only allowed 1 ounce, so you're going to have to take out with an extra hole about 1 3/4 ounces to get yourself within the realm of using the ball under ABC specifications. But whatever you want, you can make this ball anything within 1 ounce to a positive back to 1 ounce of negative with an extra hole. And this will give you a massive flip. Both of these extra hole balls will give you the biggest flip you've ever seen. And now it's time to drill one up. What we're going to drill now is the block weighted ball. We're going to start by drilling a thumb hole. Okay. We've just completed drilling a block weighted ball. Now we're going to put it on a scale to make sure of our weights. First thing we have to do is zero it out. And now we're going to check the side. Finger weight will be unaffected in this drilling combination. And there it is, a half positive side. And this is exactly what it should look like. You got your center of span over here, the extra hole located on this side of the weight block, and then your entire weight block is still intact, untouched. In summation, what we've done here today is shown you several different ways of drilling up positive side. The Thunderbolt dual block offers you the predictability of confidence in how this ball is going to react going down the lane. Please feel free to experiment on your own and write to us here at Ebonite on how your experiments have turned out. Good luck and happy bowling.